Come with me today, we have got a 2012 Ford Mondeo automatic, well, power shift, and it's having a gearbox service. So the first thing we need to do is jump on the Autodata and find out where all the drain bungs are. We've got one on the top of the gearbox, which is a fill-in, the level one which is on the side, and the two lower ones which are underneath. The first thing we're going to do is remove this airbox so we can get to the fill-in bung. Once you now have got the airbox out of the way, the fill-in bung is right there. But what we're going to do before we remove it, get yourself an airline and blow around it. To remove this airbox, there's a little red tab on the plug. Unplug it, squeeze the plug in, and it should just pull out the way. There's a connection around the side here. Just unhook it off the airbox, a little plastic clip. And then we can get our flat-headed screwdriver and do the Jubilee clip. And then fingers crossed that this airbox now should just pull out the way, like so. Once the drain bung is out, put it back on, just put it on a bit of an angle so when you drain that oil it's not creating a vacuum and the old oil will just shoot out the bottom nice and easily. Once the vehicle is fully raised, you need to get yourself a nice lovely little receptacle. We all know that I like a receptacle. Now there's two parts to this gearbox, the front and the back. Now we need to remove these two drain bungs. What happens is that the fluid from the front half overfills into the back half. So we're going to get this front one out first. Now be careful when you remove the drain bung because it does absolutely gush out. As you can see, I've got a little bit on my floor. Now let's move around to the rear one. It's going to be messy, this. Anyway, let's leave that drain out for a little while. While we're waiting for the oil to drain out of it, we're going to move around to the passenger side wheel arch now. You don't have to do this, but I'm just doing it just to make it a bit easier for you lot to see. Remove the inner splash guard, and we have got the filter, which is located here. Now if I can show you, without getting any blur, there's a little tab. You've just got to pull back, and 32mm on the bottom of the filter housing, and it'll just unscrew. Once you've slackened it off, make sure that you've got your lovely little receptacle right underneath it, and it will just unscrew and there will be oil leaking out of it, and you can just let it drain. Now the filter is removed, what I like to do is get hold of the filter and just give it a bit of an open up and just see if there's any like metal filings in there or any bits of plastic. That is always a good sign that it is nice and clean. We've got a goodish gearbox for now. Now we've got the new kit that's turned up. You get in it the correct quantity of oil, a new filter housing cup and a brand new filter and a new O-ring. We've put a little bit of red rubber grease around that O-ring. We'll pop that filter in, and what we're going to do, we're just going to fill this filter housing up first and then we can screw it on. When you've put that new, I was going to call it a fuel filter then, gearbox filter back on, we've cleaned it all down, dated it as well, jump round to the sun plugs, and we have got 43 Newton meters on these both sun plugs. Now we need to jump around to filling that gearbox. My lovely little Timu fillers, they're brilliant they are. Now Autodata says 7.25 litres, now the kit only says 6. So what we're going to do is fire all this 6 in, go through the motions, and we'll see if it needs topping up. Now we're in the vehicle, I've put the airbox back on quickly because we don't want any engine management faults. We're going to start it up. And what we're going to do is hold it in each gear for 20 seconds, up and down the box. And obviously while you're doing it, make sure that you've got your foot on the brake at all times so that it's putting the gears under load. Once we've had the vehicle running, then we can take it back up in the air and remove this fill level plug. Remove it out, and if it's got too much in it, it'll leak out, and if it's not enough, you need to top it up accordingly. So let's remove it. There we go, we have got some coming out. So what we're going to do now, we're going to leave that pour out now until it just starts to a bit of a drip. Once it turns to literally a drip pouring out the drain hole, we can put the drain plug back in now, and we can get that torqued up to 43 Newton meters, and we can give everything a nice little cleaner-rooney. And then we can get this car put back together. And that is the car all back together now. We're just going to drop the bonnet on it, torque the wheels up, and yeah, we are going on a test drive. Now that we're out and about having a lovely little drive around, we can make sure that all the gears now are changing as they should do. And we can all go into manual mode and make sure everything's working nice and beautiful. Anyway, let's get back to the workshop. after a nice little drive-a-rooney, that is one service on a power shift gearbox and a Ford Mondeo. Anyway, let's get it sent.